I want to talk about the shadow for a second. Like another Jung's ideas.
Yeah.
What do you understand about the shadow? Can you just give us a little backstory about what you think the shadow means, what he's trying to get at?
Yeah, it's basically suppressed parts of yourself.
Mm.
Most of it, well, it's probably more easily characterized as your aggressive, your undesirable sort of side. It's not very pretty to society. It's not pretty to yourself. You're probably disgusted by your shadow if you don't acknowledge it and accept it and integrate it. So it's like the sides of you that might be resentful, hateful, sort of, even like, you know, some people are so suppressed that they've got like murderous rage, just not even acknowledging. It's like a bomb just sitting there, just ready to blow up. So yeah, your shadow self is, I believe it's part of, it's your subconscious. That part of your subconscious that is more dark and socially unacceptable. That's your shadow, basically.
And how do you come about like accepting that? Like, you know, because you are right. It's a very like rejected part of ourselves, you know. And accepting that can sometimes be difficult if you don't understand the ways in which that would be beneficial to you. You know, I think like to answer my questions, actually, I feel like one of the ways that, so aggression, I think for a lot of young guys is like it's a big thing. It's a big part of the shadow. They feel a lot of like aggressive nature or anger, right? And one of the ways that I've learned to kind of like channel that in the right way is through martial arts.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, cool. There's no point being angry at myself. There's no point being angry at people around me. Let me kind of alchemize this idea and put it towards something that actually will train it and hone it, you know, and like, I found that to be the case where if I put myself in a situation like that, they really help.
So I was going to bounce off that with this quote. So Clara Thompson, I got this off Academy of Ideas. So it says, aggression is not necessarily destructive at all. It springs from an innate tendency to grow and master life, which seems to be characteristic of all living matter. Only when this life force is obstructed in its development do ingredients of anger, rage or hate become connected with it. So that is a great way to see martial arts. If you can integrate that part of you, it's actually great, you know, and it makes you better as a person and more easy to accept things. If you're suppressed and you're not using that aggression, someone winds you up, you know, you're that ticking bomb ready to explode. No, it's not going to be pretty. And whether you like it or not, your subconscious, like you say, it's like it sways that you're the island in the middle of your conscious mind. And the ocean keeps swaying you back and forth. If your subconscious is brimming with resentment and anger and you know, unused aggression and sort of ambition, that's not a good state to be in. Even if you're quietly angry and resentful, that's not how you should do it. You need to integrate. You need to channel that, which
into a very different way. 100%. How was martial art helped you channel your shadow? Like, you've been doing it for a long time since you were a kid. How is it over time? Is that something you consciously understand, or is that something just kind of happened over time?
No, I always used to like think introspectively. You know? So I just enjoy the fact that you can have this camaraderie with people whilst at the same time enjoying competition. Like, I love competition. It's such a great release. And when I come out of training, simply like I've just got an airhead. Like I've got no other thoughts, you know. Someone like barges me, just like, don't care. I could like literally just my headphones on, like I'm just gonna walk. Like, I don't care. So it's great for that. And a lot of people that don't train probably are secretly very angry, unless you got a lot of people. Some people go gym, some people play sport, you know, like whatever works for you. But martial arts is a very great example. Obviously it's clear aggression, but it's also, you know, solid competition in good confinements at the same time. You're not hurting anyone purposefully, growing, you're channeling that energy. It's different to just walking around angry all the time.
Yeah, man. Because it's like, dude, you think back to like those kids like at school with the bullies, right? Like, they were the most hurt people, like, because they couldn't control themselves, so they kind of lashed out at that kid because they thought like, you know, they were lashing out would kind of fix something, you know. And I feel like that's the shadow on display, like just like not integrated. But once you integrate it, then you become more, because it's like you have to be okay with the aspects of yourself that can be angry, you know, but can actually control it, you know. Because, for example, in a martial arts setting, right, if you're angry while you're rolling, you're going to get absolutely decimated.
Yeah.
The person's going to choke you out, and like there's nothing you can do about it. You show that all the anger didn't lead anywhere. So it's about understanding that, okay, even though I'm angry, how do I channel this emotion into something that's actually beneficial, you know? Because that's actually the only way that you can, you know, be able to, you know, succeed in that environment. And that kind of teaches you, not just in that kind of environment, but also in life, that if these emotions pop up when I'm angry or something, how do I accept it, analyze it, and use it to help me? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. None of us can do it, but you know, a good thing really is like, if you're really angry, like, would I behave this way, you know, in an environment where I was surrounded by killers? And if the answer is no, then it's like, you need to
relax.
Yeah.
You need to relax. Yeah, no, that's like the best thing about being. So if you on like you know, when you're doing like martial arts, right? Like if you're there like, oh yeah, I'm big, immediately you're gonna find a black belt who's like, I know seaman. It's gonna come and he's gonna bend you, like it's gonna completely twist you up.
There's nothing like, mate. Say even yesterday I was Moro, you know, black belt, amazing pressure, just slowly just moving positions. He was just working technique. He's, you know, I'm on my back and I'm like literally like wheezing, like, you know, I can't, like, I'm, you know, it's awful, but mate, it's so humbling, right? So it's like some people don't ever get exposed to that. Your ego is built off your experiences as much as anything else. So it's a great way to rein you in.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
Yeah.
One philosopher that I really resonate with, that I started to really like take notice of when I kind of started doing martial arts, is Musashi.
Yeah.
So a little bit about Musashi, as I understand it. It's been a while since I read his book, but he's a samurai who lived in I think the Edo period, like very, really long time ago in Japan, and he was like an undefeated samurai who would like had like, I think over 20 one-on-one bouts. And then afterwards he wrote a book, or it's said that he wrote a book called The Book of Five Rings. And in that book he just talks about the different ways to kind of look at martial arts and how martial arts was started with internal. He talks about discipline, he talks about the inner life, talks about like, you know, some of the concepts that, you know, we know about him. It's like, okay, like you train with every weapon you have, but you always use your best one. You know, that you prepare, you know, it's about like, you know, I think some of his ideas are kind of like helped with the art of war and, you know, Sun Tzu and everything, but it's about, you know, appearing weak when you're strong. All these different ideas of like, you know, how to master yourself in an arena where everyone else is also looking to, you know, kind of, you know, chop your head off, you know.
Well, do you think that to master yourself, because if you could sum it up, like, in order to master yourself, it goes hand in hand with recognizing your weaknesses and your strengths. Recognizing your weaknesses, your strengths, how you master yourself. They're, you know, it's like that. That's why his idea that you can't conquer other people till you conquer your inner self, understand yourself. Also links in with, you know, maybe training every weapon, exposing yourself to every weapon. You can use your strongest one, but you need to really like be introspective and don't hide away from anything that you're not capable of doing yet, that you're struggling with, or, you know, say again, like the shadow part of you that is not so easy to be, you know, to come up. You don't want people around you seeing that side of you, or yourself seeing that side of you. Actually, that's how you can't conquer anything till you conquer that, you know.
Absolutely.
That's basically what his point is, right? Like,
absolutely. And I feel like, because it was such an interesting too, because he's like a martial, like, you know, supreme martial artist, but he was very like focused on just like, you know, calligraphy and just like, you know, words and like, you know, emotions. And so in that time period, especially, that's such a unique thing, you know, and I think that balance is actually what makes him, you know, a prevalent, you know, kind of an important, you know, figure for us to learn from. You know, I feel like people like him show us that you have to be able to like balance the two. You can't be a pure martial artist, because if you are, that's fine, but there's a part of you, there's a missing part of you that you're not integrating.
Not integrating.
You know?
Yeah. Well, again, that's why the shadow is not just your aggression or your sort of your dark side. You know, and it's not this like idealistic bad act either. It's like your shadow is also like anything that you don't desire in yourself, and that might be like something you're embarrassed. Like maybe you're an artsy person and your friend group, you don't integrate that part because you're sort of scared of what your friends would do. That's cowardice. Like, I know, you know, it sounds harsh, but you know, we all do it. But it stems from being, you know, you're living as a coward in some respect. You're not really meeting yourself eye to eye.
Absolutely. And like, look, I have experience with this. You know, like when I was a kid, I was a sports person. I've said this many times in this podcast where I played football, and I played football for like 10, 20 years, right? And then I got to a point where I was really interested in poetry. You know, I started writing poetry, I started sharing poetry with a few friends, but my friends would be like, okay, you should go and perform it. And I was like, nah, that's not me, and that was in that moment, I was being a coward. You know, I wasn't able to integrate that part of myself because I had an identity of myself, who I was, and anything I deviated from that would require me to change, would require me to like go to a new environment. And it was easier for me to just say that that's not part of who I was, rather than change and integrate to the new environment. But with enough self-understanding, again, people are young. I think these are like so much important. When you're in a period of change or period of like you're going through something difficult, reading the right philosopher could really put things in perspective. But because reading all these different philosophers made me understand that, oh, this idea of who I am, of like this rigid idea of like I am this person, is all in my mind. And it only works if I kind of pour my life force into it. The minute I decide to go, you know what, I can do different things, that's when I really start to kind of like integrate different versions of myself. And then funnily enough, it helps in other parts of yourself. Becoming a poet has helped me become a better writer, obviously, but a better podcaster, a better, a sports person, because it shows different aspects of a different environment, that you can actually take, whether it's confidence, whether it's like discipline, whether it's like facing your fears, that you can take that and put into different parts of your life.
Yeah, there's loads of crossover in life. Like everything crosses over, really. Like again, like martial arts crosses over with life itself. Like I said last time about how life is a bit like wrestling sometimes. I actually take it back though when I said life isn't a dance. I actually think it's both. So I've changed my mind because it's this constant dancing act between sort of parts of yourself and them in tandem. That's how you integrate. Again, like recognizing that you're fragmented is actually important. You start to recognize them parts of yourself and actually integrate and love that. Ultimately, like that is what it means to integrate and become whole, become yourself.
On that journey to becoming our best self, or becoming ourselves, Jung talks about that, how the culture and society are very important to that. Do you think the culture we have today helps us become our best self?